Okay, hola tutub, my name is AJ Torres. I'm a self-published fantasy author and I am back with a BookTube tag. Or maybe it was a BookTube Newbie tag? Whatever, let's just go with it. The drawing I will be showing you today is a Percy Jackson draw this in your style thing. Except I'm not gonna lie. Looking at the original drawing, and then thinking about it, I don't think that was supposed to be Percy Jackson. I think that was the person's original character. That just also happens to be a child of Poseidon. That is totally my bad. Okay, let me pull up the artist's name. Wow, I can't spell. Okay. They are known as Ottawa is Here Now. And I think this character... No, that one is actually Chris Jackson. Okay. Oh no, where's the drawing? Okay, it looks like it's been a while since said drawing, I guess. So, you know what? Once the video is done and uploaded, I'll just go ahead and leave a link to the original art and artist so you guys can check out the artwork yourself. But, yeah, I ended up turning it into Percy Jackson from Percy Jackson and the Olympians, and in the style of the Has-Been Hotel art by VisiPop, because I was in an art slump and I wanted some change, so this was me attempting change. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get on with the video. I don't think I have anything more to say, so let's just jump into this questionnaire. Alright, question 1. What was the last and first, if you remember, book you read last year? Oop, I gotta look at Goodreads here. The last book I read in 2024 was Iron Widow by Jiran J. Zhao. Loved it, gave it 4 stars. And the first book I read in 2024 was a book I read to the whole family, and that was The Dragon Egg Princess by Ellen O. That one, unfortunately, was a DNF around the 50% mark. None of us were into it. Question 2. What is your first read this year? My first book of 2025 was Unravel by Shannon Messenger, a book I read to the whole family, and that one was technically a carryover from December 2024. I put it down for 4 stars, but it was practically 3 stars. 9.5 books into the Keeper of the Lost City series, and most of us were wondering why, and that's it! For a personal book, it was Queen and Conqueror by Isabel Olmo. Loved it and gave it 5 stars. Seriously, can't wait to continue this series. Question 3. Share 3 of your reading goals this year. Oh crap, 3? Okay, well, I'm hoping to read at least 20 books this year. Read backlogs of F.T. Lucan's books before I get to their newest book, Love at Second Sight, and read as much Snow White retellings and read as much fantasy books written by Latin authors, especially Puerto Ricans. These last 2 I'm sure will carry over into 2026. The Snow White retelling is because I wrote 2 of them myself, and I'm curious to see what other authors have done with this fairy tale, and because less than 8% of the authors in the publishing industry identify as Latin, I'd like to show my support by reading their books and leaving reviews and gush about them if I end up loving them. Chapter 4. Oh, wait, not chapter. What is wrong with me? Question 4. Share 3 of your most anticipated titles. Okay, this time I have to look at my TikTok for this one. I'm also going to assume these are books coming out this year. So first up, we have When the Tides Held the Moon by Vanessa Virakelly. Let me just go ahead and pull up what that one is about. The Shape of Water meets The Greatest Showman in this beautiful, illustrated, queer, historical, cozy fantasy as a young Puerto Rican immigrant goes through a journey of love and self-discovery after capturing a merman for a Coney Island sideshow act in turn of the 20th century New York. Benigno Benny Caldera knows an orphan Boricua blacksmith in 1910's New York City can't call himself an artist. But the ironwork tank he creates for famed Coney Island playground, Luna Park, astounds everyone, especially the eccentric sideshow proprietor who commissioned it. Benny's work earns him an invitation to join the show's eclectic crew of performers, his first welcome in the city, and share in the astonishing secret the tank Benny built is a cage for the newest exhibit, a living, breathing, in-the-flesh merman stolen from the banks of the East River under a gleaming full moon. The merman is more than a mythic marvel, though. Benny comes to know Rio as a clever philosopher, an observant traveler, and a kindred spirit more beautiful and compassionate than any human he's ever met. Despite their different worlds, and begins as a friendship of necessity deepens to love, leading Benny's heart into uncharted waters where he can no longer ignore the agonizing truth of Rio's captivity and his own. A cage is no place for a merman to survive, though releasing Rio means betraying his new family, bankrupting their home, and losing his soulmate forever. Benny must look within for the courage to do what's right and find a love strong enough to free them both. Second, we have Beasts of Carnaval by Rosario Rodrigo. Let me pull that one up too. There it is. When night descends, El Carnaval de Bestias rises. Within the shores of Isla Bestia, guests from around the world discover a utopia of ever-changing performances, sumptuous feasts, and beautiful monsters. Many enter, but few ever leave. The wine is simply too sweet, the music too fine, and the revelry endless. Sophia, a freed woman from a nearby colonized island, cares little for this revelry. Born an enslaved mestiza on a tobacco plantation, she has neither wealth nor title, only a scholarly pragmatism and a hunger for answers. She travels to El Carnaval de Bestias in search of her twin brother, who disappeared 5 years ago. There's a world of wonder waiting for her on the shores of this legendary island, one wherein conquerors profit from Sophia's ancestral land and her people labor. But surrounded by her former enslavers, she finds something familiar in the performances: whispers of the island's native tongue, music and stories from her Taqueri's ancestors. A culture long hidden in the shadows, thrust into the light. As the night passes, her mind begins unraveling, drowning in the unnatural, almost sentient thrall of Carnaval, and the sense that someone is watching her grows. To find her brother and break free, Sophia must peel back the glamorous curtain and face those behind Carnaval, before she too loses herself to the island. Okay, and I lost my place. Thirdly, I'm going to give this spot to Espiritu by Aidan Thomas. Yes, I'm aware that this book was pushed to 2026, but I do not care. Alright. Julian used to be a ghost, and now he can't stop seeing them. Oh, right, this is actually book 2 of Cemetery Boys. I thought I'd let you know before I continued reading. Ever since being sacrificed as part of her forbidden ritual, Julian has been able to see and communicate with the spirits of past brujexes, and that would be okay if it allowed him to be part of his new boyfriend's community. But Julian's also seeing other things: shadows in the corner of his eyes, glowing eyes in the dark, and dark spots on people, gaping black gashes that are somehow wrong. He did ask his new magical boyfriend about it, but Yadriel has never heard of anything like it either, and he's so busy with his new brujex responsibilities, trying to figure out where all the new malingos are coming from, that Julian hates for his problems to ruin what little time together they have. Then, a strange new brujex shows up. Angel, as a non-binary brujex, can heal the living and release the dead. But more than that, they can also see the same dark spots as Julian. Despite Yadriel's reservations, Julian eagerly accepts their help. But Angel's ruthless methods feel wrong to Julian, who wants to move away from hurting others. With the shadows growing darker and the discovery of a gaping dark spot on his friend Luca, Julian has to decide who he wants to put his trust in, and just how far he's willing to go to save what is his. Oh my god, I can't wait! I'm so excited, and it sucks I have to wait till 2026, but it's fine, it's just gonna get better by the time it gets out. It's fine, it's so fine! Question 5. Which goals did you not reach last year? Well, I was able to read 21 books last year, and the one I wasn't able to reach was not being able to read as much books by Latin authors, mostly because of financial reasons. And I was also surprised that most books by Latin authors are contemporary stories instead of fantasy and sci-fi. Nothing wrong with contemporary, I'm just not really into the genre. But I will try to read at least one contemporary book a year. Keyword is try. Question 6. Are there new releases you've heard of that you have no desire to read? Anything coming out of Red Tower Books? Just no. In case you're wondering what they've published so far, Fourth Ring by Rebecca Yarros and Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. Again, just no. Question 7. What are some reading habits you want to change this year, if any? This is determined by mood than anything else, but I'm trying to just read brand new stories through audiobook. The last one I started, but stopped because I was suddenly not in the mood to listen to audiobooks, was An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. And there wasn't anything wrong with the book. I thought it was amazing from what I heard so far. But because of how long it was taking me to get back into the mood of audiobooks, I just said screw it and got the series physically. I'm debating which series to put into my 2026 TBR. Yes, I have to choose because I'm also trying to get through ebooks too. I'm rereading through audiobooks right now, hoping to see if that'll also carry me into listening to something new. So far, meh. Question 8. Are there any adaptations you're excited about? Any adaptations I'm excited about? Hell Followed With Us is one. I haven't read the book yet, but I'm planning to before the movie comes out. Oh, Clown in a Cornfield is another. I know, horror, body horror stuff. What's wrong with me? The rest I've already started, such as the Percy Jackson series on Disney+, The Witcher on Netflix, and The Wheel of Time on Amazon. I know there's more, I just can't remember right now. Oh, there's also The Wild Robot. I know it's already out now, but I really want to see it. Sounds like something that'll make me cry. Question 9. Favorite bookish memory of last year? Wow, I gotta think about this one. I was happy to finally read books I've had in my TBR since their release, such as Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I was supposed to read Lost in the Neverwoods by Aidan Thomas last year, but then I read The Sunbearer Trials by the same author and ended up pushing Lost in the Neverwoods back to read Celestial Monsters. I love Teo and Shio, that's all I'm going to say. Question 10. Carryovers from last year that you still plan on finishing. Ooh, boy, there's quite a lot. Lost in the Neverwoods by Aidan Thomas is definitely one I'm reading this year. I just haven't decided on it being my September read or my October. Because I also decided to sell some of my books on Pango, my physical TBR is smaller now. I just haven't decided what I'm picking up yet, especially as I'm beta reading and waiting on an arc for First Burn of the Sun by Marvelous Michael Anson this year. I have a lot of Mutuals books 1s, and series that I'm trying to get to and finish, but I'm literally a slow reader. It takes me roughly a month to get through one book, as I'm also juggling other hobbies, drawing being one of them. I'll just do my best and see what happens. And there you have it. Let's go ahead and end this here. For my next video, I'm either going to talk about my book's querying journey or a book review. I haven't decided, but know that if I did do a review next, it's going to be on Cemetery Boys. I am not debating this. I am not doing requests. I am not taking suggestions. It's going to be Cemetery Boys by Iden Thomas, period, because it's amazing and I want more people to know about it. Okay. I hope you liked my drawing as much as getting to know me. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos. Adios!